Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Your brother DFG. Hey, brothers and sisters. Forgive this big old giant smile on my face this Shabbat, but, well, maybe you shouldn't forgive. I don't know. Excuse it. I don't know. But I'm a little excited, and I'm sure that excitement will manifest into, seriousness, even though the smile is a serious smile because it's an honest smile. But Yah has revealed a couple of things to me, and I just want to pass this on to my brothers and sisters. The smile is because of the revelation. And I'm always excited and happy, when Abba Yah trusts me enough to be, he trusts my integrity enough to allow me to bring forth the truth to my brothers and sisters in Israel. And as I've said to my brothers and sisters many times, that regardless of who the teacher might be, you make sure you bring your saw, and you make sure you have your hammer, and you do your own research, and you follow up. It should always be cross references. It should always be precepts, and research. Never allow yourself to be easily misled by just someone who's just pushing out information and doing a whole lot of talking. Satan is clever. The Satans, many of them, are clever by coming in and challenging Yah's word. And they'll do that. And what they're doing is they're trying to find the unsuspecting amongst us. Those of us whose hearts are right, but are not necessarily aware of how clever Satan is. Because he's always going to come to you with his logic. Well, how could this be? Are you sure about what you believe? Who really said that? Is that in the Bible? Is that necessary? And he goes on and on and on and on with that type of clever questioning. Because he's looking for the unsuspecting among us. In all honesty, he's looking for the females amongst us. Especially those who are not covered. Because he knows if they're not covered, then they have no protection between them and him. Sure, they'll say, well, Yahuah is my covering. Now, he knows that's a that's a little clever trick that's being pulled upon our women from Christianity. Because, see, our ancient women would have never said that. They would have known better. That's why they stayed with their fathers until a suitable man, Israelite, believing man, was assigned them, or appointed them, or wanted them, or desired them, however you want to say it. It was only in New Testament lies where they start to tell, our women that, hey, Jesus loves you. Jesus is your covering. Jesus is your husband. You're Jesus' bride. And to this very day, Israelite women are still believing the T.I.E snakes or jakes or whatever, and all of them, they're telling them you are loose now. Loose from what? And now they're pushing all kind of wickedness out here. And unfortunately, more times than not, because our daughters of Zion don't have the right covering, or thinking that their covering is from above, and they couldn't tell you where at above, they'll just tell you what they heard. Or they'll just share with you something over that we've already said that was written with the hands of men, the so-called New Testament. And they lay their heads on the chest. They lay their heads on the chest of their invisible Savior, who was not even strong enough or worthy enough to save himself if he ever existed in the first place. Now, we're going to go a little bit deeper into this conversation, so hold on a moment before you start to run. I suspect, I'm going to say a thing or two, because Yah's put it in my heart that you'll be glad you stuck around. Again, at the end of the day, as I say, it's totally up to you. I'm going to say it whether you're here or not. But if you stick around, let's just see what happens. Hallelujah. That to be said, We're going to be looking at the book of Isaiah today. We're going to be looking at the book of Enoch today. Isaiah and Enoch. But there is one other thing I want to address before we get into the depths of today's message. Enoch 46. It's been a subject that's been brought to my attention one or two times, or questions about who is Enoch talking about in Enoch 46. And I know that for the most part, it looks like he's talking about Jesus. I'm not a fool. I can read too. But see, it's not just reading that we need, brothers and sisters. We have to have discernment. We have to have revelation. Yahuah hides things from men. At least men that he hasn't chosen to reveal those truths to. If you were with us in the Bible study this past Wednesday, you would have heard us talk about, Wednesday before last. You would have heard us talking about, we did mention it again this past Wednesday night, but you heard us talking about where there were three men with Abraham. Yeah. Eliezer, Ishmael, and Isaac. All three of these men were looking at the presence of Yahuah. And only one of the three could actually see Yahuah in the mountain. Only one of the three could see him there. The other two couldn't see him. Abraham asked, y'all see Yah in the mountain? Isaac said, yeah, I see him. Eliezer and Ishmael? No, I don't see nothing. Because Yah didn't reveal himself to them. So when you're looking at some parts of the scripture, brothers and sisters, it depends on mindset. It depends on your heart. Whether or not Yahuah will reveal things to you. He's not a respecter of person, but he knows the heart of men. And if you have a predetermined, mindset, then he's not going to reveal anything to you. Because he already knows you're looking to validate something that you already have decided is true. So he's not going to work with you. At least not in revealing himself. You have to have a heart, brothers and sisters, where you say, Yah, it don't matter what I think. It don't matter what I believe. It doesn't even matter what I was taught. What matters is what you say. What matters is what is written from you as it relates to what is right for me or man. Women included. So when you're looking at Enoch 46, and if you're predetermined in your mind as Jesus, it's going to be hard for anybody to take that away from you. Because you've already predetermined that's who it is. But I can assure you, if there was nothing written to know Jesus about anything anywhere in that New Testament, that wouldn't be the conclusion you would draw. You would draw a different conclusion. What, you say, my brother? Well, whatever Yah revealed to you. That's what. But you wouldn't deduce it to Jesus just like that. Now, let's go back to Enoch 46, and I'm going to say this real quick. Enoch 46 is not talking about Jesus in the way that some are thinking about Jesus. Again, if Jesus ever even existed. Enoch 46 is talking about Judah, or more importantly, the tribe of Judah. When Jacob was giving out his blessings, what did he say? Judah would be kings and Judah would get a double portion because Judah would be responsible for what? Protecting his people. That's why Judah would be knocking down kingdoms. That's why David, who is of the tribe of Judah, will be called King of Kings. Even in the new heaven and earth that's coming, he is acknowledged that way. So-called Jesus, again, if you want to believe him, if you want to believe that, is of what tribe? Judah. When David became king, you remember the story, brothers and sisters? Saul was wicked. And Yahuah said, I'm taking my rahuk from him, my presence, my anointing from him. No longer will I use that son of man anymore. I'm going to find me another son of man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to find a son of man who's after my own heart. And I'm going to put my spirit that's dwelling with me inside of that man. So Samuel went to Jesse, and Jesse presented all of his sons. except for one, son of man. And Samuel said, Abijah is not interested in any of these sons. Do we have any other sons? See, I got one more. But he's out there in the field with the sheep. Not, we don't think much of him. Samuel said, go get him. You can read the story in 1 Samuel. You can start around chapter 16, 17, 18. You'll get there. Who was that son? It was David. The same king of kings. The same king that destroyed many kingdoms. And his sons as well. We are Judah. Not all of Israel. But we are Judah. And what did he do? He put his power inside of who? David. And from that point forward, David started killing bears and lions, Goliath. Thousands of men. Saul killed his 1,000. David killed his Saul killed his 1,000. David his tens of thousands. How do you think David was able to do that? That was the power of Abba Yahuah inside of him. Or Yahuah, depending on which way you want to say that. I know Abba Yahuah is almost like a double verb, but it's like saying father, father. So it's Yahuah, but if you want to use Abba, I don't see no harm in that. But Yahuah is all inclusive. He is the Father, but he is the creator. He is the beginning. He's the eternal. But when he came into David, and David became the king. Not a permanent, but eventually assigned. The authority. So it's Judah. And we are Judah. And the last thing I'll say, who sets the trends all over this earth? As flat as it is. When Judah comes in his best self, most talented self, whatever that might be, whether it be in golf, a Tiger Woods, or tennis, the Williams sisters, music, the Michael Jacksons of the world, fighting, the Muhammad Ali, basketball, the Michael Jordan, the LeBron James, it does not matter. Even in fashion, whatever it is, Judah sets the trend. Because the kingship was assigned to Judah to knock down other kingdoms. That's why whatever we do, good or evil, the whole world is watching. Truth be told, that's why the whole world want to destroy you. That's why the whole world is confederate against you. Because what Enoch 46 is talking about. So I rest my case right there. Now, if you want to read Jesus, God, and your Savior into that, that's on you. I'm telling you, you're going to be deceived. He's not your Savior. You have one, Yahuah. And if you don't settle it in your heart, you're going to always be going back and forth. And a double-minded man is unstable in all of their ways. And let them not think they're going to ever see the truth of Yahuah. There will be a form of godliness. But you will have no power. The strength of us is in Yahuah. David talked about that in Psalms 144. The strength of Yahuah, teaching my fingers to fight and my fist to war, my fist to war, my fingers to fight. That's knocking down all the kingdoms. Again, Enoch 46 is talking about. Now, if that's too much for you to understand, that's okay. I have no beef with you. So don't pick a beef with me. But that is the answer, as Yah has revealed it to me. Thank you. Hallelujah. For listening. Agree, disagree. That's not up to me. Now, brothers and sisters, let's move on along. Well, we are going through it. We are going through it. I mentioned a while back to my brothers and sisters that, get ready, suit up. There's going to be some rough days, some difficult days ahead. And I will tell you, if you're Israel 1/3 and you're in your right mind and, your body is still clean and pure and you didn't get the juicy juice in you, you're going through it now, aren't you? You're going through it. Attacks on every side. But I want to say to you that that's all a testament that Yahuah is true. When you look at Ezekiel, for example, Zechariah, for example, chapter 13, he said we're going to be tried. We are going to be tried. Tried means that Satan is going to come. And I say Satan, that's a plural. There are probably millions, if not billions of Satans on this earth. And we're going to look at that because we're going to go back to Enoch, not 46. I'm done with that. But we're going to talk about something more present, more relevant. What's happening right now to our sisters in particularly, but our brothers as well. But when it says we're going to be tried through the fire, brothers and sisters, that's what it's taught. It meant what it said. That means, people are going to come at you out of the blue with some of the most ridiculous accusations known to mankind. You think you've heard it all? You haven't heard it all yet. Whoever would have thought the day would come that we would get attacked because we did not want to participate in activities that we felt was affront to the Most High. Who would ever thought we would get attacked because we say we want to obey the commandments? I mean, attacked for it. It's one thing if somebody say, well, I don't believe that that's in effect anymore. I mean, again, Eliezer, Ishmael are not going to see the truth, so they could say that. Isaac saw the truth. He said, oh, yes, it is still important. It's eternal. The Torah is eternal. Obedience of the Torah is eternal. But whoever thought we'd get attacked for it, called evil for it, or y'all judging people for it. And for the most part, most of us aren't judging anybody. I know I'm not judging anybody. I'm just bringing forth the word. Now, if the word judges you, then hey, don't blame me. Take it up with Yah. My responsibility is to warn you. Ezekiel chapter 3 tells me to do that as a watchman. All of us who are watchmen. If you're a believer or 1/3 believer, you have a responsibility of speaking the truth whenever that truth is necessary to explain why you stand and why you are here, why you are called out, why you are singled out as the 1/3. And if you deny Yahuah, he's going to reject you, because that's a form of cowardness. But whoever thought we would get attacked just because we're taking the stand for his truth? And now we're being called evil. We're being called unrighteous. And what's even very, very interesting about it, look at who it is who are calling us evil and unrighteous. People we know very well, people we grew up with. And we already know how they live. Some are lesbians. Others are homosexuals. Some have killed their babies in their wombs. Some are drug addicts, alcoholics. Some are thieves and liars and cheats. Some are whores. Some are whoremongers. Some have altered themselves. I mean, literally altered themselves. Added to their behinds, added to their breasts, added to their face. Hell, some of them have damn windshield wipers on their eyes, called eyebrow extensions. Some of them are so ashamed of their natural hair, they put the hair of the heathens in their heads. Cursed hair. And it is cursed because the heathens pray over it because they want it to sell. And they know if they bring it before their gods, then their gods will bless it and they'll be able to sell it. And the number one buyer of it is Israel, in particular, Judah. The same elevated one. And those are the people who are attacking us. Interesting. So what am I saying to you, my brothers and sisters? Understand that it's a sign of the time. You know, it says that our enemies will be in our own house. So our enemies will be people that we know, people that once loved us, people that we once loved. In some cases, people that we still love. But now their hearts have gotten hardened. Because as time run out, they're going to always feel vulnerable. And because they're feeling vulnerable or somewhat shameful, then to reverse the shame, they're going to call you, what is that new term they use now? Something shaming or hate shaming or something term they use now. When a woman is so obese she can't stand up straight, and if you said she needs to lose weight, you're weight shaming. Or whatever shaming. There are many for. That's just one example of it. So if you're overweight, you know, come on, get out of it. Let's not do feelings right now. Let's just do some honest talk. Let's just be, you know, let's just chop it up. It has nothing to do with people saying you ought to be ashamed of yourself. It's just simply saying it ain't the healthy way. It's not the right way, ain't the best way for you. And hoping that you would take it as a advice to want to go out and start doing something about it. But we live in a day and time now where evil is good and good is evil. So they'll tell you, oh no, be big, be obese. Because you know, at the end of the way, it's you. Just be you. Be your best you. But they ain't going to tell you about diabetes. They're not going to tell you about heart disease. They're not going to tell you about liver disease. They're not going to tell you about lung disease. They're not going to tell you about all your organs, you know what I'm saying, your kidneys. They're not going to tell you how all those things are working extra hard. Because your body wasn't built for all of that weight. And let us not even begin to talk about the toxics and the foods that many of our brothers and sisters are consuming that your body cannot process. Do you realize that one meal takes your body a whole day to process one meal, brothers and sisters? One meal takes your body a whole day to process it. 2 meals take your body 2 days to process it. 3 meals a day, that the lying heathens told us we have to eat, takes your body 3 days to process it. So think about if you're doing that every day for year after year after year. Well, that's your explanation for obesity in more cases than not. Your body can't process it. So it's storing the fat up inside of your body. And that fat with all the toxins and poisons in it is going to do a slow kill. A slow kill. You know, they'll start cutting off, you know, your limb because of diabetes. You know, you'll go blind because of glaucoma from that food. Then all of a sudden you have to have other surgeries because your kidneys are not working properly. Or your lungs, because you can't breathe and all this toxins in the air because you're overweight. And it'll just slowly escalate until ultimately your body just gives up and recognizes that you're not going to do anything. Therefore, it shuts down. Then they find a big old box somewhere and charge you some outrageous price, or your family some outrageous price, to throw you in that box and put you in the ground and say la vie, or goodbye to you. See, that's the other side of the story that they don't want told, Israel. But I'll tell it at the risk of fat shaming you. I'll tell it. Or whatever shaming you that they told you that's shameful about you. But I never shamed you. I only said the truth. But in an altered world or altered society, anything goes. A super sensitive society, anything is an offense. But understand, woe are to those who are offended because of the truth. In other words, if the truth offends you, it's not going to end well for you. But Yah is just. And he's so just for every problem you might be facing, brothers and sisters, there's a solution. Every problem, there's a solution. If you turn to Yahuah. If you turn to this world, they're just going to give you medication, they're just going to give you explanations, or they're just going to give you free will to do whatever you want to do, regardless of the harm it may cause to you or those around you. But at the end of the day, as you heard your brother say many, 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 many times, and I'll say it again, whatever you decide, that's up to you. But just understand, for every action you take, there is going to be a reaction. And if that action you're taking is rejecting Yahuah and embracing Jesus or whomever you're embracing out there, then understand, whatever judgment goes along with that, that's the judgment you're going to get. You know, if you go over and read Deuteronomy, let me check. Let's go over it. I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter. I want to show you something real quick, brothers and sisters. Again, you should have your saw and hammer with you now. So you know your brother's not going to bring forth this word without giving you some precept. That ain't happening. Not here. We're not here to tell. We're here to teach. I mean, if you don't have a pen or a marker with you, and you don't even have taken the time, and as I said the other day, walked away from a few hamburgers and bought you a cipher or an apocryphal Bible, then I don't know what to say to you. Obviously, your love ain't strong enough to know everything that you can know. But we're here to teach, and to teach you have to be prepared. As the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Are you ready for the truth? Are you ready to recover? Are you ready for redemption? Do you actually, truly want to be saved from this wickedness and judgment that is to come? This fire that's burning? What happened in Lahana? Now it's 80 people dead, talking about over in Maui, over there in Hawaii. And they're still saying they don't know how the fire started. They know how that fire started, just not going to tell you how that fire started. Because they would have to tell you, well, you know, it was the fallen ones. You know, they got a little pissed off with us because we weren't being obedient. So what they did was destroyed one of our resort islands to let us understand that more to come. Because at the end of the day, if you don't succumb to our way, then you will have nothing left. Oops, wasn't supposed to say that. But I said it. So hopefully you have your study material and you're ready for class. But let's go over here. I want to say something to you, because for those who think that, you know, it doesn't matter who you serve, and, you know, anybody, as long as you're serving somebody, and God is a relative term, and all of this stuff, which God, dog, that is relative. There are many dogs, many gods. G-O-D, D-O-G. But when it comes to the supreme creator, there's only one. Not 1,000, not 1,000,000, not 3, not 2, 1. And his name is Yahuah. But let's go over here real fast. Deuteronomy, which is the Torah, chapter 6. Hear you, Yasharel, and God to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily. Yahuah of your fathers has promised you in the land that flows with milk. All right, it's been a minute since I went there, and honey. Hallelujah. And I use it too every day. And if you're not, then you're missing out on the food of the angels, the food that our Yah gave to his men and women. But in the land that flows with milk and honey, here, Yasharel, Yahuah is one. One. Not 3, not 2, 1. Praise Yah. He's one. But let us continue on here. Like the lighting got a little dark in here. Maybe that's me, but hey, we're going to go on. Hallelujah. Enemy probably come in any kind of way, because I already said enough. I can assure you he didn't want you to realize. There's been that earlier statement about 46, Enoch. A lot of people have been struggling with that. And boy, I'm telling you, he is not happy with that explanation. But it's still true. Judah has always been about you. You're the protector of your brethren. Talking about the other 11 tribes. We're not meeting the expectation, unfortunately. But that's why he gave us double. They got colonized, we got enslaved. And we're still enslaved. It's called the penitentiary system. It's called bad foods. It's called ghettos, hood, urban, whatever new term they have. Debauchery, wicked food, poisonous foods, poverty, torn down families, rebellion within the genders, sickness beyond everyone else, 6 people in the country. And I can go on and on with that. But that doesn't fix anything. I want to talk about solution as well as problem. Teachers should always be solution oriented. If you're listening to anyone and they don't talk about solutions, brothers and sisters, then they're an enemy. They're there to sabotage. Tell you everything. That's the Jennings of the world, the Geno Jennings of the world. They just run their mouth and rant and rave all over the place, and you never learn anything from them. All he wants to do is, am I right about it? All he wants to be is right. Like they're not assigned by Yahuah. All of them are that way. They just want to be right. They don't care about the truth. They want to be right according to themselves. It's called self-righteousness. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I. Ain't I pretty? Ain't I handsome? Ain't I right about it? No, you're wrong. You've always been wrong. And you're going to bust hell wide open, you wicked little midget devil, you. Not going against you short fellas. I love you too. I'm talking about that devil. But if you're following him, you're going to hell right along with him. But it says here, chapter 4, verse 4, Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Here, Yahuah is one. And you shall love Yahuah with all of your heart, and with all of your soul, and with all of your strength. And these words which I command you this day, these words shall be in your heart. You know what being in your heart means, brothers and sisters? That it goes nowhere. There's no room for Jesus. There's no room for no one but Yahuah. I'm talking about as far as what you would call Elohim, or God, or one who would be a Messiah or a Savior or a Redeemer. Room for no one but him. That's what it means, all of your heart. Let's go on. He says this, and you shall teach. That's why I say we teach over here. You shall teach, not preach, not tell, not speak, not prophesy, prophetess, or whatever those. Teach. 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 And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and you shall talk of them when you sit in your house. Think you know what that means? Are you talking about it in your house? He said you should talk about it in your house, and when you walk by your way, in other words, when you're going and coming. When you go to bed, that's lie down. When you get up, that's rising up in the morning. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they shall be frontlet between your eyes, like glasses. Binding them on your hands is another way of saying, keep that book open. Studying. He goes on to say, verse 9, and you shall write them upon the post of your house and your gates. You know, brothers and sisters, this is just a quick little example. But, you know, I study, I read, I pray. I try to do whatever Yah tells me to do to the best of my, you know, human ability. All right? But look at this. This is, you know, I'm just showing you that I write and take notes too. I don't have to go run to them because it's written in my heart. But this message applies equally to all of us. Yah is no respecter of a person in that regard. And when he says again, Son of Man, peeking over in 46 again, what does that mean, Son of Man? Well, Ezekiel, read Ezekiel chapter 3. See how many times he called Ezekiel Son of Man. Jeremiah gets called Son of Man. Son of Man is just another word that the anointing of Abba Yah is on a person. That's what Son of Man is referencing to. I poured out my spirit upon him or her. So Son of Man does not identify as a deity. That's what the heathens taught with their Jesus. Son of Man simply means one that is called by Abba Yahuah to serve a purpose for Israel. And as a testimony against this whole wicked flat earth. That's his terminology for hey you over there. But let us continue here. Hallelujah. Verse 10. And it shall be when Yahuah have brought you into the land which he swore or promised to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israel, Yasharel, to give you a great and goodly city which you did not build, and houses full of things which you did not buy, fountains and wells that you didn't dig, vineyards and olives that you did not plant. And when you shall have been eaten and full, what he's saying, when I bless you, remember where your blessings came from. That's what he's saying here. Many of us, you know, when you get blessed, the first thing is me, I got to do, I'm going to do, why can't I do, why they expect this of me to do. That's most of Israel. Never recognizing that it is only Yah that put that in your hands. And just like he put it in your hands, that arrogance, high-mindedness will cause him to take it right out of your hands. Did he not give Saul the kingship? And did he not take that kingship back from Saul? Why? Because Saul thought he could do what he wanted to do. And in all his self-righteousness, he became what? Rebellious. At least he was called rebellious, or an idolater. He told him, your rebellion is as idolatry. Your high-mindedness as witchcraft, means your arrogance. You believe you did it. You're taking credit for what Yah did. If he's the life giver, then he's the life provider. But that's Israel for you. Yah places something in their hands, and there they go around talking about, look at me, look at me. And then when he takes it back, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. That's why I don't believe in him. If he's so strong, why this is happening to me? Because your ass is wicked. Because you're in rebellion. Because you didn't give credit to who credit was due. You wanted to make it all about you, instead of understanding it's all about him, blessing you, trusting you to do what is right, what he has given you. And making it all about you has nothing to do with it. Not with Yah's righteousness, that's man's righteousness. And the book says your righteousness is just like a bloody tampon. In other words, it's filthy, it's unclean. And I don't want no filthy, unclean righteousness, and neither should you, brothers and sisters. You should always be examining yourself. Am I doing what I'm expected to do? Am I doing what is right? Am I understanding processes and purpose? Am I being obedient? Am I walking in Abba Yah's truth or my own truth that I like, that makes me feel better about myself? Am I twisting Abba Yah's word? Because in twisting his word means I don't have to obey it as it is written or revealed. These are questions that we have to ask ourselves all the time, at all times. And until we do that, brothers and sisters, we're going to keep falling short. We're going to stay under the curses. As a nation and individually, if this applies to you or that description applies to you, any of us, without exception. Our book said the blessing of Abba Yah maketh a man rich and add no sorrows with it. But that blessing is of Abba Yah. Never forget it. Let's go on. Verse 12, still in Deuteronomy. Then beware lest you forget Yahuah. You see what I'm saying? Just because you have things that you've worked hard for, according to how you feel about it, well, you did do it. But you're not understanding that he gave you the ability to work hard. He gave you the intelligence to know how to navigate and increase your wealth, increase your worth. But now you're resting on your laurels and you're taking credit for something that Abba Yah gave unto you. Is what he's trying to warn us of, brothers and sisters. And he's saying that's not going to work for you in the long term. That's a short time fix for a long-term problem. Saul found out the hard way. David almost did too until he repented. And he recognized, holy shit, this man talking about me. And he had no problem acknowledging his transgression. No problem acknowledging his sin. Dropped right to his knees and said, Yah, I'm wrong. I didn't sin against my brother when I did that wickedness. I sinned against you. I didn't sin against my people when I did that wickedness. I sinned against you, Yahuah. We all know the story when Nathan confronted him about what he had done to Uriah on behalf of Bathsheba. Thought nobody saw him. But if we forgot, there's one eye that's always going throughout the eyes, not eye, because that sounds like some occulted wicked shit. But the Abba Yah eyes go throughout the whole earth looking to show himself strong, but also to judge the wicked justly. And David was being judged. He understood he was being judged, and he didn't fight against that truth. He embraced that truth. He repented, and Yah showed him mercy. Verse 13. And you shall fear Yahuah and serve him, and you shall promise by his name. When you make an oath, you keep that oath. If you say, this is what I'm going to do, you do it. When you enter into a covenant, you honor that covenant. When you speak words, you say, you tell someone, I'm never going to leave, you don't leave. You tell someone, I love you, you mean that you love them. And you break that covenant, you're not breaking the covenant with man, you're breaking that covenant with Yah. You know, all the repentance in the world ain't going to change his judgment against you when you do it. David repented, but he still had to deal with some severe consequences because he shouldn't have done it. So just your repentance alone, it may give you another opportunity. He said, if a righteous man fall, I'm going to pick him back up, but you will deal with what you said. Yah will deal with you for what you said. He will deal for you he will deal with us for what we said we would do. Before him, he heard us. Many of us said it before him. We were in covenant with others before him. And we said we would do this and we would honor this no matter what. Y'all heard us. We know y'all heard us when we said it. And we turned right back around when we decided that we were not comfortable in that covenant anymore, broke wedlock. That's what breaking wedlock is, for you who don't know, brothers and sisters. When it says you broke wedlock, means you went against your word before Abba Yahuah. Now you're broken wedlock. Let's go on here. And he says this, verse 14, and you shall not serve any other Elohim, including Jesus, or Yahushua, whatever name you want to call him. Because he is a God, whether he walked this earth or not, he is a God. He is a Elohim. He is one of the idolatrous entities that the heathens pray to. They have many of them. Jesus is one of many. Buddha, Krishna, Kali, Amara, Gyro, Poseidon, Ares, Diana, Tammuz, Isis, Apollo, Mary, many of them. And he said we're not supposed to go after any of them. In other words, we're not supposed to be in any organization that recognizes any of those. Why? And just so you know that he means us, and he means all these, because a lot of people say, well, God, he's talking about, like they always think that, it's almost like when they read the word, brothers, so you ever notice some people, when they read the word, they always like it's some kind of mystery with them. Like this phenomenon, this unknown thing, you know, this deep, dark, secret thing. You ever notice that about a lot of them? You know why they do that, brothers and sisters? One or two reasons. Either they don't know Yah, or they intentionally trying to make him spooky and scary and unknown and mysterious, and therefore they don't have to obey him. Where? What you talking about, bro? I don't know nothing about that. No, look what he says here to make sure you do know about that. Because look what he says again in 14. You shall not go after other Elohim, of the Elohim of the people which are around you. Now how clear is that? The people that are around you. The Baptists, the Catholic, the Methodists. Those who practice Islam. Those who practice Buddhism, Hinduism, all those Judaism, those people that are around you. Talking about, yeah, the gods they serve, and some of us were serving as well. And goes on to say this, verse 15. For Yahuah is a jealous El. He's jealous. He's not going to make any room for anybody else. So if he's jealous, tell me why the hell he would have Jesus. He just said no other Elohims of the Elohims of the people around us. And we know many of the people around us serve their Jesus or Yahushua, whatever name they want to call him. The latest and the greatest. And he flat out here saying, you should be serving who they're serving. And why? Because you're going to piss him off. That's what he means by jealous. He's not going to like it one bit. And he goes on to say, just in case you don't understand that he's pissed, he says this, and the anger of Yahuah shall be kindled, will be fire against you, and it will destroy you from the face of the earth. That's how serious it is. That's why we don't serve no Jesus, and we don't read no Jesus and no scripture, just because the heathen tried to be clever and hid him inside of our book. As Maccabees said he would do, and the wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 said he would do. Maccabees chapter 3:48 said he would do it, first Maccabees, and the wisdom of Solomon said they would try to do it again. Go read 14 or listen to yesterday's message. There ain't no room for no Jesus around here, no JC around here. Not if you don't want to be destroyed and burned. And yet too many of our brothers and sisters are still going back and forth, back and forth. I'm just here to warn you because I love you. I love you in the way that Yah loves you. I don't love you if I don't know you like that. I'm talking, when I'm using that term, I'm just meaning from a standpoint of that how Yahuah loves Israel, even though Israel 2/3 don't love him. Because they don't love him because they don't keep his commandments. They serve the gods of this world. They follow after the ways of the heathens. Jeremiah talked about that, chapter 10, 1-4. And he said, don't follow the ways of the heathens that are all around us. And here it's saying right here, don't serve the Elohims or the gods of all those people who are around us. Mama God, daddy God, grandpa God, grandma God, cousin God. So you don't serve any of that, only Yahuah. And if anybody struggles with that, then they're not of Yahuah, and you are to separate yourself from them with a quickness. What we would call a sense of urgency. Get out before y'all burn it down. And you're going to be right in there. And don't think that you can stay amongst them. Lot was a perfect example of when those angels told Lot, you better get out of here. And he was, well, let me go do this and let me go get that. Let me get this ready. He said, you better get out of here right now. And he was dragging his feet. You know what those angels, they grabbed him and they snatched his ass out of there. Your wife came, but she was still in self-righteousness. She was still doing her own thing. She was out of the city, but the city was not out of her. She had come out of Christianity, but she was still a Christian. Because she was still practicing her Christian customs and ways and mindset. Metaphorically speaking. But it applies to many of our sisters to this very day. When Yah gives his word and says certain things, these sisters go into rebellion immediately. I ain't doing that. I don't need this. I don't need that. We're going to get into that. The next hour will be about that. When he told Noah to get in that ark, Noah got in that ark and shut that door. Yah sealed it when he went in there. When he told Moses to take my people out of Israel, those who stayed in Israel, they burned and they were destroyed right along with everybody else who was in, not Israel, but Egypt. Sorry. He told Moses, tell them to come out of Egypt, going over here to a place I have assigned for you, a land of milk and honey. I mean, I'm like, I ain't going through all that trouble to do that. That's way too much. I want to keep it. I like the way things are right now. I'm just going to believe from here. And their asses got destroyed. And that's many of our people again. Because after all, you know, Jesus is my Redeemer. Jesus is my husband. I'm just going to go to Jesus. And then they do a little quick, little clever flip-flop and just say, well, I'm just going to go to Yahuah. Same Jesus mindset. And y'all made it perfectly clear that I place a covering or a man of my own choosing for every daughter of Zion, without exception. And no, it doesn't have to be a husband. I've said it before. But there has to be someone that you're accountable to, because they're there to protect and watch over you. They're assigned by Yahuah to do it. And when you go above that or go around that, then that's an act of rebellion. That is the new way. That is not the ancient way. That is not the ways of our fathers, brothers and sisters. That's why we have the Tanakh, so you can clearly see how our mothers conducted themselves. They understood it clearly. They understood clearly. Give you another example. Yahuah protects, those who are obedient unto him, or those who he placed under the care of his watchmen. He protects them through him. When Mother Sarah, Abraham's wife, got in her feelings and she wanted to throw Hagar out of the house, what did y'all tell Abraham? I'll be damned. Go get her, bring her back. If he had left it up to Sarah, Hagar would have been up the creek without a paddle. Envy, jealousy. God said, no, this is not the way this goes. We're going to use reason and logic. You go get her and bring her back. Like I say. And it's always like Yah says, not how you think. For any of us, brothers and sisters. And yes, he is a jealous Elohim. He makes no room for any other so-called entity that you should be worshiping or calling your Savior. And that's why it's so aggravating to your brother. And that's why you hear me calling out certain content creators. And I'm sure they're listening. But I call you out for you because you're in rebellion. And by now you should know the truth. You should know you only have one Redeemer, one Savior, one Elohim. But you're still over there teaching out of the book of Acts. You're still over there teaching out of Gospels that have been proven were plagiarized lies, half-truths. And you're still teaching out of it. Because you don't care. So I speak up against you because you don't care. I speak up against you because you're misleading Abiyah's sheep. And I have a problem with it. And any righteous man or woman of Israel, Yasharel, would have a problem with it. Unfortunately, you don't. That's why you continue to do it. You just took your Christianity and brought it over here and changed it up and calling yourself an Israelite. Because somehow you found out that you were the people of the book. That's true. But guess what? That ain't going to get you in. 2/3 are going to be destroyed. And you know why you're going to be destroyed? Because you're teaching lies from doctrines of men. And if you don't know that, it's because Yah has not shown it to you because of the hardness of your heart when you heard the truth. Even right now you're hearing the truth and you're still not going to change. You know it. And I absolutely know it, so I'm going to always call your little wicked asses out. Not unsubscribe. Now let's get back. We're going to go back to the book of Enoch. No, not 46. As I said earlier, I'm done with that. If you're not done with that, that's on you. Do not ask me no more questions about it. I'm telling you, I've already gave you what I believe is the truth. So you don't have to ask me nothing else. I already know what he believes, so I'm good. I'm going to go find somebody else, see if they can tell me what I want to hear. Because I'm not sure I like his answer. That's okay. No problem. No problem. I'm done with that. So we're going to be looking at the book of Enoch chapter 15. Because we're going to be dealing with this doggone so-called alien foolishness, the UFOs, because now they're talking about, in their little congressional hearings, they found there were 30 UFOs, brothers and sisters. There are 30 of unidentified flying objects. These devils are lying. There was a man by the name of, he was a military guy, I think it was in the Navy, called Admiral Byrd. You can look at him, Admiral Byrd, spelled B-R-Y-D. And he was an admiral in the military in the late 40s, early 50s. And this man said he went to a place near the South Pole. He was talking about Antarctica. And he said when he went there, he saw phenomenons that no man, he said it was unbelievable. They were chasing the Nazis, trying to figure out what direction they went in. They went down to Argentina, then they went on across, down there. I guess that's the Indian Ocean. Or the Southern Atlantic, and they went down over that, but I want to say that's the Indian Ocean, but don't hold me to that. And then they went over into Antarctica. And he said down there, he saw technology unbeknownst to mankind. Oh, you know what else he saw? Entities. What we would call aliens. And he said they gave a warning. Inside that warning, know what he said? That warning was the fact that you guys set off nuclear bombs. That's when these heathens got revenge for Japan, as I talked to you about earlier, for the so-called sneak attack on Pearl Harbor. These heathens don't forget. So all you Montgomery cheerleaders, all you scoffers out there that still boasting with your little memes about what happened last Saturday, a week ago today, just remember, they're not going to forget it. So have your fun. But in their day of vengeance, just remember, you'll understand that was not anything to be making fun of. Well, you can make fun of what you want, I guess, but you need to understand that they're going to come back, and they're going to come back with everything they have to prove to you, Israel in particular, Judah here, that they're going to want. You know what I'm saying? A piece of ass for what was done. And I don't mean in a sexual way either. They've always been that way. But anyway, they told Admiral Byrd, whatever y'all did up there, he said, now it's resonating down here, and you guys have started a chain of events that's not going to end until your whole earth is destroyed by fire. Unexplained fire in, what's the name of that place again? Maui and Lahaina? Or what about the fires in Canada? What about the fires in California a few years ago? People said, they don't know where that fire came from. They said something happened up top and just came on down. They never really explained that. Fires in Australia. All over this flat earth. But you don't know anything about it because the media, hides that. That's all censored. They don't want us to know that. When them fallen angels fell in that man's backyard in Las Vegas a couple of months back, they hurry up and started talking about, these guys in the little submarine, the 5 of them that were down there looking for the Titanic. Hurry up and got our minds off of that. Didn't get my mind off, but got most people's mind right off of that. That's what they do. That's how they hide in plain sight. They conceal themselves through their lies, their clever cunningness. And that's why men like myself are a threat to them. Because see, I leave myself open to hear y'all's word. I don't have any what would be the proper word? Predetermined mindset in terms of what I believe when I go before Abba Yahuah, or Yahuah, whichever way you want to say it again. I don't have any predetermined mindset. I go with his word, and I pray, and I go before him with an open heart, and I ask him to reveal to me. Even today, I wouldn't sit here before I go before Abba Yahuah. Be very stupid of me to come before you before I go before Abba Yahuah, saying that I'm going to share his word or teach his word. His word. I have to have his permission. So I seek it. So whatever he's revealing to me because of my obedience, my meek, humble attitude towards him. And I'm not afraid of you. Any you. Big you, little you, fat you, skinny you, tall you, short you. None of you. Love I have for some of you, fear none of you. I'm not going to fear what no man can do to me. I fear what Yah will do to me if I don't obey him. And if you were as smart as you think you are, you would have the same attitude. That are huffing and puffing. I don't agree. Or weeping and crying. I can't believe you. I can't believe you. Whatever. All that theatrics means nothing before Abba Yah. Before Yahuah. Means nothing. He's just sitting there laughing at you. While you over there weeping and crying, he's laughing at you like silly man, silly girl, silly woman. What are you doing? Isn't that what you want me to do? No. That's what Jesus did. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he cried those tears that looked, okay, all right, enough of that foolishness. When y'all talked about Christ, he's talking about raising your voice. He's talking about righteous indignation. And that righteous indignation is only because you're supposed to be speaking against transgression and wickedness and sin. Isaiah 58. But again, do what you want to do. Because that's what you're going to do anyway, right? Or obey. A lot easier to obey, you let me tell you. Better to obey than to sacrifice. That's what the word says. I'm going to keep it all the feast days, brother DFG. Yeah, but you ain't obeying Yahuah. You think they're 2 gods, 3 gods, 10 gods, woman gods. What did Amos say? I don't care nothing about your sacrifices and your ceremonies. Did not Amos tell us that? Y'all say, I don't care anything about that. I care about you keeping my commandments. But see, they don't want to hear that. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Nah. And I just want to keep the feast days and do what I want to do. Yeah, I know. That's what we're talking about, right? That's what we're talking about. Get it? Here, brothers and sisters. Hallelujah. Because sometimes, brothers, it's one thing to be saying the word. You got people out there. Yeah, I hear you, brother, and praise you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're listening. Some of my brothers and sisters, I'm very proud of you, even if I don't know you. I know there are many of you out there who are standing right with your brother, and I don't even know who you are. But I'll tell you one thing about it. I'm grateful that you're there. The book of Amos. I know you didn't know I was going there, but I'm going back to Enoch and I'm going back to Isaiah. It's Shabbat. Where you going? The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. The book of Amos, the prophet Amos, reads, I hate. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 20 so you know who's saying this. Amos is just recording it. Yahuah is saying it. Shall not the day of Yahuah be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it? Talking about judgment day to come. The black skies from the smoke. Okay, I'll stop right there on that. Judgment is here, brothers and sisters. I don't know what some of our brothers wasting a lot of time when you should be prepping and planning and acting instead of listening to all those people who in your ear telling you that you evil and you dumb and you're in a cult and you foul. You ought to be telling them, you don't get away from me with that foolishness. But some of us, we so feeble-minded that we just want to let them talk to us like that. What I mean by that simple-minded, how much the simple love simplicity. A simple-minded person will let anybody just tell them anything. A righteous person is going to take a stand for what they believe. And yeah, you can't stop them from saying something, but you can sure make it, a little uncomfortable for them after they say it. Verse 21, Amos 5 and 21. Thus says Yahuah, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So y'all can have your little assemblies and whatever y'all doing for your feast days, your ceremony. Yahuah says, I hate them. Yahuah said it. Yahuah says, I hate it. So go ahead and have your Feast of Tabernacles. Go ahead and have your days of Pentecost. Whatever you want to call it. He said, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And you know why I hate it? Because you're mixing clean with unclean. Because half of you still over there preaching Jesus by another name. Teaching doctrines of devils called New Testament epistles. Yeah, that's the doctrines of devils he's talking about. He said, though you offer me your burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. He said, I don't want it. There's an old Southern saying that when someone is not thinking clearly about when they're making a decision, so you're just pissing in the wind. In other words, you peeing on yourself. You're relieving yourself on yourself. So you can do it all you want. I don't want it. So you're wasting your time. He said, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard your peace offerings or your fat beast, your sheep, your lambs, whatever you're slaughtering out there. But he said, let judgment, I'm sorry, about to skip one, verse 23, take away from me the noise of your songs. He don't want to hear your gospel songs, your religious songs, your singing songs, your women singing, oh my. But he said, I don't want to hear your songs. The daughters up there singing, the idiots up there playing their instruments, and y'all looking at them like, yeah, right. I'm not impressed. But they're just a singing and a dancing and a eating and a celebrating. For nothing. How sad. But it's true. I just hope you don't let it be you a part of it. He said, take away from me the noise of your songs, and I don't want to hear the melody of your instruments. He said, let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. He said, you have offered me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O you Yasharel, Israel, but you have borne the tabernacle of Moloch. He said, you're nothing, you worship devils. The star of your Elohim. You know that little star David they called it? Which you made yourselves. Talking about replacement theology, New Testaments, doctrines of devil. Men wrote that stuff. A lot of them were what you would call your Catholic clergy wrote those books. Priests, Jesuits, men of the cloth, as you would call them. And passed it off as writings from, the ancient ones. And it was nothing but a bunch of lies. And they've been teaching those lies to our people for thousands of years now. And we always had the Torah that would protect us against those lies. And that's why he's saying, I despise your feast days. And your burnt offerings and your meat offerings. And I don't regard your peace offering. There's no peace between me and you, is what he's saying to us when we're in rebellion. So when you're practicing religion or in your ceremonies or your secret societies, he said, that's no peace for me. He said, that's war. So I'm not at peace with you. I'm at war with you. I hate you is what he really said. We just read that in Deuteronomy. So you keep your gods and your sacrifices and your worship and your feast days, your holidays. I don't want any of that. If you know what's good for you, you better go back to judgment, and you better go back to righteousness, and righteousness is what keeping our Yah's Torah. Back to Enoch. And Isaiah. We're going to go back and forth here. Now, women of Zion, Israel, 2/3 included, you. This is for you. Now, I'm going to say it right here up front. I already know some of you ain't going to like this, but it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's still written and you ain't going to change it because you don't like it. And you can go to your pastor, and your pastor can tell you whatever you want to hear, because that's what he's there for. But I'm not your pastor, and I'm not here to pacify you. So I'm going to give you the truth. Hopefully that's the reason why you're here in the first place, because you know I am. Will make you think you have the truth, Brother Jesus, because I'm going to give you your word. I'm going in the book that you have. I'm going to talk about the sovereign Yahuah who you claim to love. Although you've compromised because you're loving others, including yourself, God. You're the one that you admire in the mirror. The one that tells you you don't need a covering because Yahuah is your covering. Well, check this out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1, reads, "And behold, in that day, 7 women shall take hold to one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, and we will wear our own clothes. Only let us be married to you, to take away the evil that is upon us, to take these curses from off of us." Now, if Yahuah is your husband, sister, if Yahuah has got you covered, sister, then why is Isaiah saying 7 of you are going to be begging one man to marry you, to cover you? Now make that make sense. And nothing you think is going to change this. This is written. Abiyah's word, or Yahuah's word, is forever written in the heavens. It's not going to change. He is not a man that he should change. So this is going to happen, whether you like it or not. It's not even up for negotiation. It is not even up for your decision on it. It's written. It's going to happen. The question, my dear sisters, you should be asking is whether or not it will happen to you. Because this covering that you reject, this covering that you feel like you don't need because, this society pushes you into that mindset, uses its little demons who look like humans to tell you you don't need a man, you just need a bag, you just need money. Money is the answer to all of your problems. They're not telling you about this part, the judgment to come from that mindset. If Abiyah was, if Yahuah would suffice, and brothers and sisters, I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to say Abiyah sometime, I'm going to say Yahuah, okay? So just, for me, it's a distinction without a difference. So don't get caught up in that, all right? Please. It's a distinction without a difference. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's the same thing. I'm in the habit of saying Abba Yahuah, but I also know Yahuah is all supreme in all everything, all sovereign, all inclusive, including Father. Okay, just to clear that up. And I'm tired of trying to be careful here with that. I'm not trying to be careful, just saying. Okay? So if you didn't need a covering, or you don't need a covering, or you don't like the idea of the fact that you need a covering, then I think it's safe to say, why is he saying that all the women who are going to be alive at this time, so that means if you're still 10 toes down and you don't have a covering, there are going to be 7 of you running to one man begging for him to be your covering. And if you read chapter 3, You'll understand how I got to that. And read chapter 3, brothers and sisters. That's almost as though you're reading that you're on the internet reading the local news like the fire in Maui. If you read chapter 3, you're going to be like, man, that's now. That's how close we are to the 7 to 1. And yeah, you have many of daughters of Zion, because this is who he's talking. He's talking about the heathens. He's talking about the daughters of Zion. You have your book. You know how to read. The question is, are you understanding what you're reading? Because see, if you understand what you're reading, you'll walk away from all that, high-mindedness about I don't need no man. I don't need a covering. You'll walk away from that fast while you still can. There are many men that are still out here saying it's 1 for 1. They ain't looking for more than you. I'm just talking about if you mean for us, in the covenant of Israel, which we would call, a man and woman union, the world called marriage. But again, there are other forms of coverings. Doesn't have to be your husband. It has to be a man of Israel who's keeping Abba Yah's commandments. That's the criteria. And yes, you can't just claim him, you got to go to him and ask if you don't already have one, I'm saying. Their willingness to take you in, talking about relationship wise, not in their houses, as a covering. And if you do seek marriage, you stay in that covenant with him until Yah sends the one who's looking to find you. And then he releases you to him. In other words, your obligation is no longer to him, it is to who you are given to in marriage. If you're seeking that. And if you're not, you stay with him. He goes on your behalf before Abba Yah. He's your counsel. These are all the things that are required of him as a covering. And you, on the other hand, just so we get clear, are also equally committed to him as your covering. So what he says goes. Let me say it again. So what he says goes. You remove the word no from your vocabulary. In regards him. And since he's a man who seeks Abba Yah and follows Yah, he should never ask you to do something that goes against Abba Yah's commandments, Yahuah's commandments. And if he's called of Yahuah, he won't. What if he does? He won't. But how do you know that? Because if he's called of Yahuah and he's obeying Yahuah, he won't. That's how I know. Just like you wouldn't. But I want you to take it upon yourselves, my sisters, and read Isaiah 3 so you can see how I got to this. And for you brothers out there who may be thinking in your vanity, in your moment of vanity, oh boy, you're going to have 7 women to one. Not dumb women, brothers. These are not going to be top shelf women. These are going to be bottom shelf women. These are going to be women in destitute, desperate, who you would probably call streetwalkers. And I'm talking about the worst kind. These are not the kind of women you're going to be saying, come on in here, look at me. And truth be told, they're going to probably be the kind of women you're going to be, oh, hell no, oh, no, sister. No, you're not coming in here. So this is not some, polygynous party we're talking about here. We're talking about judgment. This is the wrath of Yah that's coming. And that's just a revelation of it. Isaiah 4:1. But it can be avoided. But if you're going to avoid it, you better start doing something about it right now, my sisters. You too, my brothers. Because if you read into 3, there's a lot of slaughter going on in these streets. And guess who's the face of that slaughter? You. Us, Israel. Our sons. Our brothers. Our fathers. You know, in the world they call it equal opportunity employer. Abba Yah is an equal opportunity judger. No one is going to escape his judgment, male or female. The question is, what do you want him to say when you go before him at judgment? Well done? Or, get away from me. You're shameful. I despise you. In other words, contempt for you. And all that centered around, brothers and sisters, are willing to be obedient to Abba Yah's truth. And I know right now this may be a little tough for some of y'all to digest. I understand it. But see, that's what I'm saying. There is outlets. Abba Yah is creating outlets. This channel is an outlet. You know, the weekly Bible study we do is an outlet. And what is an outlet? It's an opportunity for you to learn more, to grow, to increase your knowledge, to increase your understanding so you can make the best decisions. Decisions that are lined up with Abba Yah's word as written in his Torah, in his apocryphal books, and of course, well, I should have said written in his Tanakh, in his apocryphal book, and of course his Torah, which reigns supreme. It's the supreme book of any book that was ever written. If you have his Torah, you don't need any other books. That's how profound the Torah is. Supreme the Torah is. You don't need all the help books. You have the watchmen, the teachers, the daughters, the mothers of Zion. All of us here as wise counsel to assist you in your growth, to assist you as you increase your knowledge so you have a more clarity about what does Abba Yah say for me in this short life that I have to live here on this earth. So that I can be assured that I'm safe and protected while I'm here, and I'm guaranteed to be blessed when I leave here. Now let's go over to the book of Enoch. And again, Enoch will make a lot more sense to you. I'm talking about chapter 15. Enoch is going to make a whole lot more sense to you, sisters. You too, brothers, but predominantly you sisters. Enoch 15 will make a whole lot more sense to you when you read Isaiah chapter 3. And you'll understand why Isaiah chapter 4 and 1 says what it is saying. So follow me here in Enoch 15. But again, go back to Isaiah chapter 3 when we're done so you can have some context to how that happened. Okay? 15 takes you to 3 is what I'm saying. Don't go to 3 to 15. Take Enoch 15, 16, which is what we're going to study out. And then once you look at this and see where it began, the root cause, and then you can see the impact or the results, how it manifested itself in Isaiah chapter 3. That makes sense to you? Okay then. Now we've gotten that out of the way. Now we're clear. Okay? And this, I would appreciate you thumbing up the message at this point. Again, it's to push to get the word out. It's your part. in assisting of getting the word out. You got much more to do than just thumbing up a video. But this helps. That counts. Let's go here. Enoch, chapter 15. Then addressing me, he spoke and said, "Hear neither, be afraid, O righteous Enoch. You scribe of righteousness, approach here and hear my voice." This is Abiyah talking to Enoch. "Go and say to the watchers of heaven." Who are the watchers of heaven? These heathens are calling them aliens. The aliens they're talking about, the 30-year UFOs they're talking about in Congress and all of that. Brothers and sisters, that's what I was talking about with Admiral Byrd, what he saw down there south of the South Pole that he talked about, Antarctica. What's going on under there? Why no one can go there? No one can fly over there? Because that's where they reside. That's where the judgment placed them under the earth. And CERN and Abiyah's judgment has opened up in these last days. The seal has been broken. And now they're back. And that's why they call so-called artificial intelligence. Brothers and sisters, that is not artificial. That's real stuff. Some you can see, some you can't see. But it is real. People shape-shifting. Why do you think they're pushing transgenderism? Because they don't want you to be able to tell. You're going to be thinking that, oh, this must be a transgender, when that's a damn demon. Oh, this must be a man who feels like he's a woman today. That's a damn demon. Oh, this is a woman, but she's feeling masculine today. That's a damn demon. Or at least some of them will be. And some of them are just possessed by demons, and that's why they embrace that lifestyle. Again, a distinction without a difference. But he says again, "Go, Enoch, and say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to pray for them, and say to them, you ought to pray for men, and not men for you." So what he's saying is that they trained us to pray to angels. And he said, man ain't supposed to be praying to angels. Angels are supposed to be praying to men. Or praying for men, I'm sorry. Ministering angels. We saw those ministering angels, if you remember when we were studying in our study. With Jacob, when Esau had come to attack him. And he came with his 400 men. And because Jacob, Israel, Yasharel, was so faithful, he was a man of integrity, an honorable man. When he prayed, Yah heard his prayer. And what did he do? He sent 2,000 angels to go up against Esau with modern technology, the technology you have today versus the technology that Enoch had. He had swords and spears. They had ARs and M16s and every other kind of laser technology known to man. They were using what they call that, the dome weaponry, DOM. Enoch saw them jokers fell off them horses. Both of his men ran and left him. Enoch fell off that damn horse, and before you know it, he went from, chest poked out to his damn tail stuck between his damn legs, talking about, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. When our books say no weapon formed against us will prosper, brothers and sisters, if we're obedient unto Abiyah, trust me, that's what it means. Abiyah sent ministering angels on behalf of not Rachel, not on behalf of Leah, of Bila, of Zeplah. He sent those angels on behalf of the prayer warrior, his man. They're covering. Yasharel, or Jacob. So the angels are here to fight on behalf or to minister to us, not for us to be praying to. So that's Catholicism. That's most religions. Got you praying to, again, Jesus and praying to all these other entities. It's wickedness. At least unrighteous before Yah, which is wickedness. If unrighteous feel better than me saying you're doing wickedness, then okay, then you can say unrighteous, but it's still wicked. I'd rather say wickedness because to me that stings more. Unrighteous kind of seems like, well, you know, I'm having a bad day. Wickedness means I better get my shit together. Sometimes it's in the word, the strength of it, I mean. Verse 2, Enoch 15:2, still talking to these watchers, telling Enoch, this is what you tell them devils, those aliens that they want to call it, fallen angels. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty, holy heaven, which endures forever, and you have slept, had sex with women, and some of these women out here still having sex with these demons to this very day. Some of these men you laid up with are devils, and you don't even know it. But you know how you can know? They reject the truth. They don't study the word. They don't love Yah. They tell you, I don't believe in all of that. And yeah, you got your legs cocked wide open, and they laying right between your legs, putting in devil seed, demon seed, or at least potentially. Or actually, depends on where you are in your reproductive years, they say. And many of our daughters are just making an excuse. Well, it ain't that. He a good guy. He just don't really believe because, he grew up and he ain't have no daddy and, he got abused when he was. Are you kidding me? Most of us didn't have no damn fathers in the house. And I'd like to know which one of you didn't have some form of abuse coming up. I know I most certainly did. And it didn't stop me from finding Yahuah. No, that's just excuse making. If you don't love Yah, you need to get up real fast and pull your panties up, take a good hot clean shower, sanitize yourself, and then keep your panties up. Say, oh, not here. You ain't laying no deep demon seed, not here. You take that mess and go out there where them other wretched ones are. Don't you put your hands on me. Not ever again. No, 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 no. In the words of the infamous Kevin Samuels. In hell where he's dwelling. I know some of you brothers in your feelings because I said that. Look, the man never professed to be a believer. Well, he didn't have to. Well, yes, he did. Now, you deal with that what you want. And I don't know why you defending him. You need to be worried about yourself. Whatever's happened with him, it's already happened. You need to be thinking about what's going to happen to you. Let me continue. Enoch 15 verse 2. Wherefore you have forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and you have slept or had sex with women, and have defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and have taken unto yourselves women, plural, and have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten giants. You being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with these women, and have begotten carnal blood, means children. Humans, what some of us would think are human anyway, but they're not. That's what I'm saying to my brothers. There are people around you who you would think are human, and they're not. Their behavior, their actions, male or female, is an indicator they're not human. You think Cardi B is a human? Suki Hana, you think that's a human? Beyonce? Every time she hits the stage, she's doing that whole Apollyon, Indian devil who she worships. And the men too. You think Lil Nas X is a human? Lil Wayne? Lil Uzi Vert, or whatever they call Uzi Vert, all them demons. Travis Scott? Takeoff, Offset? I mean, y'all know them better than I do. Y'all looking at these people and thinking they're human. They're not human, and they tell you they're not human. You always see them blocking the eye, making the 360 or whatever the hell they doing. You always see them signaling to their gods they're not human, but you blowing it off. You like acting like you don't see, and they showing it right in front of your face. Oh yeah, they're Israelites, demons. They're demons who look like Israelites. Yes, 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 yes. Why do you think Yahuah is going to destroy 2/3 of Israel? Either they're demons or they're demon possessed. Again, a distinction without a difference. Whether they be one or possessed by one, it's the same damn thing is what I'm saying. Male and female, I might add. Because their children are male and female. Let's go on. It says here, you have polluted yourself with women and have begotten in the carnal blood. Begotten means born, brought to life. In carnal blood means human blood. Have lust in the blood of men and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. Saying they having the same kind of intercourse that a man and a woman has. And some of our men, you're sleeping with demons, female demons. Some of you are sleeping with same-sex demons. And some of our women are sleeping with male demons, and some of you are sleeping with same-sex female demons. And there's no such thing as a same-sex that's not a demon. No such thing. Either you're possessed with a devil, or you're possessed by demons, or you're an actual demon. But clearly, that's abominable behavior. In other words, he detested, he's going to destroy those who live that way. And those who support it as well. With some of you men out there, and you got sons who living that way, and you over there, you're talking with them, and you're laughing with them, and you're acting like everything is normal. You're going to be judged right along with them. Your job is to tell them that is wrong. And if they don't want to listen, your job is to cut them off. Give them something to contemplate. Why dad doesn't talk to me anymore? Oh, I forgot. Because he don't agree with my lifestyle. He knows it's an abomination to Yahuah. And he cares about my soul. And he's not going to encourage me by entertaining me. Tolerating me. Accepting me. Verse 5. Therefore, I have given to them women. Y'all read this, right? Now you think about 7-1. Think about why these men, when these 7-1 come to them, they're going to say, you ain't coming in here. So for all of you sisters in your feeling, ain't no way I'm going to be no 7-1. Don't worry, sister. He ain't going to take you anyway if you were. You think a little bit too much of yourself. Because if that description fits you, if that's your destiny, trust me, you won't have to share him. He gonna slam that door shut, and y'all gonna seal it so you can't get in. Why you think you're gonna be begging and playing and trying to, compromise with him, reason with him? I'll take care of myself. I'll buy my own clothes. I'll eat my own food. Why you think you're gonna be doing all of that? You see, we're supposed to be considering these things. You're supposed to consider why. Instead of just getting in your feelings and talking about what you're not going to do, you might want to consider why that would be something that would have to be experienced in the first place. What created that environment? This is what created the environment that you're dealing with, you're seeing right now. This. this. This is the root cause, how it began. And then now you're seeing how it's going to end. Let us continue on here. Verse 5 again. Therefore, I have given unto them women that they may cohabitate with. In other words, living with them, marrying them, intermarrying with them. So a lot of our women are in relationships with devils, fallen angels, demons. That's what we call them today. And they don't even know it, and they're having babies for them too. So many of the men that you are with are demons. Because their daddy was a demon. And their mama laid with their daddy and produced you, devil. Well, not you, them devils. My apologies. If you're here, and you have a repentant heart, and you're not in all of that debauchery, of course I'm not talking about you. Of course Yah's not talking about you. No, this is for them who are still over there, where maybe you once were. Same thing to you, daughters of Zion, because again, they made women and they made male, they had girl babies and boy babies. Now they're trying to have fatherless babies, however that works. Incubating babies, test tube, all kind of stuff, babies. Demons. Flesh, no soul. Flesh, no spirit. That's why they can do anything, say anything. Why you think these, again, Sakahan or Sakahan or whatever, why you think he's saying the stuff she's saying? Listen to her lyrics. Listen to what some of these guys are singing. Listen to their lyrics. That sounds like somebody that has a soul? Are you really listening to what you're listening to on your radio? Are you really listening to what they're saying? And even worse, are you in agreement with it? Because if you're not in agreement with it, then tell me why you're listening to it. Why you're letting it into your soul. Don't you know your body is a portal? So things can come out and things can go in. That's why the book says, what Solomon said, what? Life and death is in the power of what? Your words. It's a portal. Your body is a portal. So just like you have to guard what comes out, you damn sure got to guard what goes in. That's why you shouldn't be listening to those religious leaders. I've told you, I've warned you guys about them already. Yah has warned me to warn you, and I have done it and continue to do it. You're letting that stuff inside, it's going to stay in there. And don't be surprised, you know, if any of you seen that movie, They Clone Tyrone, you'll see how they use music to influence people's behavior. If you think it's not real, you might want to give that movie a look and see how that works. When they play soft music, the brothers were hugging it out. Start playing gangster rap, they were trying to kill each other. Oh, it's real. You've just been deceived to think it's just music and entertainment. But all around you, you see people acting out that music. They tell the women the music talk about twerking. Now you look everywhere. Women are twerking on houses, twerking on moving cars, twerking, you know, on what we would call sacred ground. They're twerking everywhere they can twerk. What made them do that? Since what you listen and your body isn't a portal, then tell me why they're doing what they're listening to. Let's talk about this criminal behavior by men. This drill rap or whatever they're calling it. Murder, 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 murder. In every little way they say it. Constantly pointing weapons. And what do you see them doing in these streets? Exactly what they heard. But you don't think your body is a portal. It is. And if you don't want to be thinking that, or you don't want your children to be acting and being possessed by demons, then you had better guard what you listen to. You had better guard with your children to listen. In other words, you better make sure that you are letting none of that stuff in. Turn that mess off. Don't expose your children to that. And not only the ear gates to the portal, your eye gates are a portal to it. Goes through the eye or through the ears. Now this is real teaching. This is real talk, brothers and sisters. This is the truth. The question you ought to be asking, why isn't anybody else talking about this? Why is it DFG talking about it? And those who are, amongst them. Why isn't everybody else talking about it? Because y'all say he was going to blind them to it. Because their hearts were hardened. Remember? Again, go back and read Proverbs chapter 1. He said because of their wickedness, he said because they rejected the knowledge, when they heard that when the truth came, they wouldn't listen to the truth. So what did he say he was going to do? He was going to have a reprobated mind, that in their day of calamity, their day of great trouble, he said, what did y'all say? I'm going to laugh at them. I'm not going to hear them. I'm going to let them continue down that broad path to destruction. That's why you don't hear others saying it, at least more saying it. There are others saying it. I don't really know many of them who are. Maybe you know some. And I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. And I see them as a brother. I don't need to hook up with them. I'm just glad they're doing it. We're going to continue to do it here. Those who are among us. But most are not. They got the book open, but this book is closed to them. That's why they don't understand what they're reading. You think they would sit here and study inside of these books that we're studying inside of? The apocryphal books? No, they won't. Because the minute they start, you'll realize they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because y'all not going to reveal that. Just like he didn't reveal his presence to Ishmael and Eliezer at the time that Abraham was taking Isaac up as an offering. He's not going to reveal it to them. Y'all is no respecter of person. He's not going to reveal anything to selfish-minded, greedy, dumb dogs who don't never have enough, where it's all about them. Am I right about it? Because I say so. Because look at the calluses on my hand. Look how hard I work. Look how many communities I have. Whatever. Who gives a shit? All going to burn with the fire and your ass in it anyway. I'm talking about them. Again, they were children that were born of the demons but had normal blood inside their bodies and have lusted in the blood of men, of what they love to kill, steal, and destroy. Rob, connive, cunning, slick, manipulative. Again, I don't need a man. I just need a bag. Or even worse, I don't need a man. I'm highly educated. That's why they can't deal with me, because I'm so smart. You're so smart you became dumb, stupid. And now your ass is 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and you're going to die alone with your smart self. Let's see if that degree can keep your bed warm at night. Let's see if that bank account you got can keep your ass, protected when these heathens start kicking in doors very soon. Looking for vulnerable women who don't need a man. You can go over to Jeremiah, I want to say it's chapter 6, or maybe it's Elijah. Well, I'm coming back here, brother. I got to go over here. Isaiah. I said Elijah. I mean Isaiah. Check this out. Isaiah chapter. I'm coming back. Promise. But these is for all of these, these sophisticated women, these high quality women, or whatever they call themselves. High value women. This is for you. That don't need a man. I'm not talking about those of you who are high valued and you got a covering, Israelite covering. Of course I'm not talking about you. You kidding me? You're blessed and favored by Abba Yah. I'm talking about those other ones who over there talking all this, bold talk, this bragging and boasting, misleading the younger women to think that that's the right way to go. I'm talking about them, not you, sister. But look what it says is going to happen. The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 9. Look what he says. He said, go, DFG. I'm going to throw my name in this one. Go, DFG, and tell this people, hear you indeed, but they're not going to understand. And see you indeed. See what I'm talking about, but they're not going to see. Eliezer and Ishmael couldn't see Yah, but Isaac and Jacob could. Isaac and Abraham could. We can see the truth, and Yahuah, we can see the truth that the JC story is a lie. The whole New Testament was written by heathens to deceive us. We can see that. They can't see it. They really, right now, they still believe it. They think we're the ones who are lost. How about that? As amazing as that is, that's what they still believe. That we're the demagogues. But again, it's prophesied that they would say that about us, brothers and sisters. So Yahweh word is not going to change because, we getting talked about, slandered, called names. His word is not going to change because, they're going to attack us. The word is going to stay the same. They're just going to do what Yah say they're going to do. And they're doing it. Because what? They don't have eyes to see. They can't see what Yah is revealing to us. No more than Israel and, again, Eliezer can see Yah in that mountain. So stop trying to convince them. Tell them, but don't try to convince them. You're accountable to tell it, but you're not responsible whether or not they believe or not. Verse 10, he said, make the heart of this people fat. In other words, let them know that, in other words, let them be arrogant. Let them have their say. Let them believe what they want to believe. And make their ears heavy and shut their eyes. Now, they're going to be blind to this truth. Blind to the truth means they're going to think that we're wrong and they're right. But did not Solomon warn us there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end of that way leads to that man destruction? I want to say that's Proverbs 14 and 12, or either 12 and 15. Both of them more or less say the same thing. You've got your saw and hammer. Mark it out. Go back and follow up behind your brother. It's just tying into this right here. Just a precept. Something to reference. It goes on to say, least they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart, and they return to Yahuah so they can be healed. You got a lot of sick people out there. Religion makes you sick. Religion destroys the soul of a man and woman. That's why you shouldn't be a part of it. Then said I, Adonai, how long? And then said I, Adonai, our father, Abba Yah. So for my sister out there that says Abba Yah, no, you good, it's okay. It's right here, not saying Abba. Adonai, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitants. You know what wasted means? Destroyed. And the houses be without, here it comes, and their houses be without a man. So these women telling each other they don't need a man, and Abba Yah says that is a curse and that is a judgment against them. And that's why they're going to be 7 of them looking for one man, and that one man is going to reject them. Because Yah says they're not going to have a man. It's going to be too late for them. They believe the hype. They let all these, I don't need a man, I need a bag. They let all these old worn out hags who've been ran through the damn ringer and then slept with more men than they can count, talking smack to them about, oh, all you need is a degree and make your own money and you can have a dog. Yeah. Just about, when a dog becomes your man, sister, how they say it is down to a low gravy now for you. I shouldn't say sister because a sister would know better. Woman, whoever they are, it has become a low, low gravy for you. Because he said right here, you're going to wish you had a man. You're going to be begging to have a man, and you're not going to get one. I don't care. Yes, you will. You just don't know it yet. This word is true. It ain't changing for you because you don't agree with it. Houses without a man, and their land shall be utterly destroyed. And Yahuah have removed the men far away, that there be a great forsaking or suffering in the midst of the land. So not that men going to be destroyed, they're just going to be far away. They're going to be wanting one and can't get one. They're going to be looking for a covering and can't. And that's why they're going to be 7-1 begging. Not because, it's Abiyah's judgment. Because in the time that they should have been, they were in rebellion. They let these damn seed of the demons, these Cardi B's and all the rest of these little heifer, hyenas, or whatever you want to call them, talk them into walking away from coverings. Potential coverings that Yah placed right there for them. And they ignored it because they're going to say, he got to do this, and he got to have that, he got to be this, and he got to be all of that. Never realizing that none of that mattered to Yah. What mattered was his heart to serve Yahuah, which means he would love you. And you rejected love for money and fame and pride, which goes before the fall, and high-minded arrogance that leadeth to destruction. Now this is the truth. Somebody got to love you enough to tell you, because your pastor ain't going to tell you. Most of your men, they're too afraid of how you're going to respond if they try to tell you. So I'll do the heavy lifting. I'm telling you. Because Yah said to me to tell you. Why that is? Maybe this is your chance. Or maybe this is his judgment against you. Either or. You heard it. Let's come back to Enoch chapter 15. Pick up at verse 6. Let's go back to 5. Therefore I have given them women that they might cohabitate or lay with, have children with, live with, that sons may be born of them. So he's talking about sex here. Sleeping with demons. That this might be transacted on the earth, that it happens upon this earth. This is not some spiritual thing, but this is happening on the earth. Women having sex with demons, and then demons having sex with women. Men demons, male demons having sex with human women, and female demons having sex with human men. And bearing children. Demon seed. But you, from the beginning, were made spiritual, possessing life which is eternal. Talking about these fallen angels. And not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not women for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling was supposed to be in heaven. But they came down here because they lusted after women. And by the way, don't think the women wasn't lusting after them. Why you think these women, running after all of these so-called celebrity men, renowned men who got the bag? Again, verse 6. But you from the beginning were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not women for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling was supposed to be in heaven. Now the giants who have been born of the Spirit and of flesh shall be called upon the earth evil spirits. That's all those demons that are all over this earth, the ones you can't see. And they shall proceed from flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning and primary function or foundation. Now evil spirits shall they be upon the earth, and the spirit of the wicked shall be called. The habitation of the spirits of earth shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall be the habitation of terrestrial rahus, who were born on earth. They're still here. Terrestrials, they calling them aliens. These are fallen. These are demons. Here dwelling on the earth. And this was foretold thousands of years ago. So they want to tell us that this book is not real. They are a liar. This book is the realest thing you will ever read. My dear brothers and sisters. Terrestrial spirits who were born on the earth. They were born here. These are your true so-called illegal immigrants. They're illegal because they weren't supposed to be here, but now they're here. And they dwell amongst men and being born of men and women. Verse 9. And their spirit of the giants are like Nephilims, which shall oppress. That's how you know who they are. They are oppressors. They're corrupt. They are corrupters. They're stealers. They're financial geniuses. They run Ponzi schemes. They run the banking institutions. Government officials. Etc. Corrupt. They fall. They have no standard. They're compromisers. They're content. They love evil. And they cause harm upon this earth. They destroy the earth. That's what I mean, bruise upon the earth. They're polluting the water, the air, the food, etc. And they shall be concealed. You're not going to know that's who they are, except you know their behavior. And they shall rise up against the sons of men, Israel, Judah, and against our women. For they come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. The end of days. And they're here. And their purpose is to slaughter and to destroy. And that's why Isaiah said, these women who are by themselves with no covering, they're going to be in a state of desperation where they're going to be saying, I'll do anything now. I know I didn't want it when it was available, but guess what? I need it now, so please, 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 I beg you, don't leave me outside. Don't leave me out here to those wolves. And I could go on, but I think I said enough. You know, this teaching is righteous teachings, brothers and sisters. And I'm not going to stop till y'all stop me. So for my brothers and sisters out there saying, thank you, brother DFG, you know, I tell you, I appreciate you standing with me, but I'm going to tell you something, my brothers and sisters, you know, this is y'all doing. I wish I could wave my hand and say, oh, look at me. No, this is y'all doing. I wake up with a clear mind, just like most of my, well, if you're not wicked, I wake up like a clear mind with most of my brothers and sisters and say, y'all, what you got planned for me today? And because he looks into my heart and he sees my heart has no wickedness dwelling in there, he said, okay, this is what you're going to do today. And I'm doing it to the glory of Yahuah. I'm honored by it. I wouldn't want it any other kind of way. But trust me, to sit here for now, 2+ hours, 2 days in a row, you know, that comes at a price. But the book said, too much is given, much is required. And I'm blessed in the way true blessings are given to men and women of Yahuah, Israel, the 1/3 elect. And that is to understand his commandments, to understand his Torah, to love his Torah, to love his people. Talk about in a agape way. Love you enough to tell you the truth way, that way. And to be relatively in pretty good health for being on this earth for 64 years. So I have a lot to be thankful for. And, to be honest with you, for many of you who stand with me, who help in the ways that you help me. All of you. But this word is this word, brothers and sisters. And it's time for us to wake up. We're out of time. It's almost like someone saying, well, I'm good right now, but there's a tsunami that's seconds away. But they don't know that tsunami is seconds away. So they're like, hey, John, where'd you leave my slippers? Hey, Mom, what's in the refrigerator to eat? And then they hear a loud rumbling. And then they turn their heads, like the dream I had a while back. And then death and destruction is upon them. Except they be in a safe, secured place. They're not, he said, when the enemy comes, didn't Isaiah tell him, when the enemy comes in like a flood, Abba Yahuah will lift up a standard against him, right? That's Isaiah 59 and 19. Isaiah 54 and 17, no weapon formed against Israel, the 1/3, is going to prosper. But that's only because you're in obedience, brothers and sisters. It's because you're in obedience. It's not going to prosper. But if you're not in obedience, sister, Isaiah 6 and 10, 11 applies to you. You're going to be caught out there with no covering. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be your worst day. That's not a threat. That's just a revealing of Abba Yah's truth as it is written in his word. Because guess what? I may be limited in the love I have for you, but not Yahuah. And he loves you enough for you to get the truth and hopefully act upon it. You too, my brethren. That's all I have for you. Show Yah has more. Yahuah, shalom.